Let's be honest, do you ever feel like you're just fighting a losing battle for your own attention? Like your focus is constantly being stolen? Well, you're not alone. And in this explainer, we're going to break down the science of why this happens, and more importantly, give you a real science backed plan to win back your mental clarity. I mean, really. Ever get to the end of the day and feel like your brain has just turned to mush? It's that feeling, right? Where your thoughts are all over the place and trying to focus on one single thing feels absolutely impossible. You're exhausted, but you haven't even really moved. Yeah, if that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. And here's the thing. You are not imagining it. This feeling is so real, so common, that people have given it a name. They call it brain rot. Kind of gross, I know, but it perfectly captures that feeling of your brain power just sort of dissolving. And just giving it a name, well, that's the first step to fighting back. Now, this next part is maybe the most important thing you'll hear. This is not a personal failing. It's not because you're weak or you lack discipline. It is a completely normal, predictable response. Your brain is just reacting to a world it was never, ever designed to handle. So let's all just take a breath and let that sink in. It's not you, it's the environment. So what's actually going on inside our heads? Well, it turns out your attention isn't just wandering off. It's being actively attacked. And there are two powerful, kind of hidden forces behind it all. Let's pull back the curtain and see what they are. All right, force number one comes from a concept in psychology called cognitive load theory. Here's the simple version. Think of your working memory, the part of your brain juggling what's happening right now, like the RAM in your computer. It's got a limited amount of space. And our digital lives are constantly trying to run 100 different programs at once, completely maxing it out. And this is exactly how it happens. Every single time you jump from an email to a text message, every time a notification pops up, that's a forced context switch. We called it multitasking, but what it really is rapid, nonstop task switching. And all the research shows it just shreds our attention and completely drains our mental battery. Okay, the second hidden enemy is something called social comparison theory. Now, this isn't new, it's been around since the 50s, and it says that we are fundamentally hardwired to figure out who we are by looking at what everyone else is doing. It's a basic human drive to see how we measure up. So, how has our digital world affected this totally normal human thing? Well, the answer is kind of shocking, and it comes down to a single number, 3. Now, it seems tiny, I know, but you're about to see why this little number is the secret key to understanding a lot of modern anxiety. Check this out. In our normal, offline lives, studies show we make maybe one significant social comparison a day. You see a friend's new car, something like that. Online, that number just explodes. When we're scrolling social media, we average 3 social comparisons every 20 minutes. It's not even in the same ballpark. It's a completely different sport. And honestly, it's even worse than it sounds, because we're not comparing our real lives to other people's real lives. We're comparing our own behind-the-scenes chaos to someone else's perfectly curated highlight reel. Psychologists call this upward comparison, and study after study shows it's a direct pipeline to feeling anxious, insecure, and just plain not good enough. Okay, so that's the problem, and it's a big one. It feels kind of overwhelming, right? But here is the good news. We can absolutely fight back. We don't have to just sit there and take it. So let's get into a clear, doable, 3-step plan to give your brain an intentional reset. Step 1 is basically triage. We have to reduce the noise. The goal is to minimize what scientists call extraneous cognitive load, which is really just a fancy way of saying we need to get rid of all the digital junk that's burning up our mental energy for no good reason. And here's the practical how-to part. First, do a digital audit. Just use the tools already on your phone to see where your time is actually going. Knowledge is power. Second, and this is huge, do a notification audit. Seriously, turn off every single alert that isn't from a real human being you absolutely need to hear from. Third, create physical tech-free zones, like the dinner table or your bedroom. And finally, actually schedule tech-free time. Put it on your calendar. 1 evening a week. You can do this. Now, for those of you who love a good life hack, a little hidden trick, this one is a game changer. Go into your phone's accessibility settings right now and turn your screen to grayscale. See all those bright, juicy colors on your apps? They're designed to be a slot machine for your brain. Grayscale turns your phone back into a boring tool. It's amazing how well it works. Okay, so we've started to reduce the noise coming in. Now, what about the stress and anxiety that's already built up inside us? Here's the key thing to understand. That digital stress shows up physically, right? Like a tight chest or shallow breathing, and that means the solution has to be physical too. And look, this isn't just about taking a deep breath to relax. There's real biology at play here. When you breathe in a specific way, you are directly stimulating what's called your parasympathetic nervous system. You can think of it as the emergency brake for your body's fight or flight stress response. You are literally, physically telling your body it's safe to calm down. And you can use these tools anywhere, anytime. Try this. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth for 6. For a super fast reset, try what's called the physiological sigh. 2 quick inhales through the nose, then 1 long, slow exhale through the mouth. It works almost instantly. Or if your mind is just racing, use the 3-2-1 rule to ground yourself. Name 3 things you can see, 2 you can hear, and 1 you can feel. They're simple, they're immediate, and they work. All right, we've reduced the noise, we've calmed the body. Now for the final and maybe my favorite step, we need to actually heal our attention span. And we're going to do it with this beautiful concept that researchers call soft fascination. This idea comes from something called attention restoration theory. It's the science behind why a walk in a park feels so fundamentally different than a walk down a chaotic city street. The whole theory is that natural environments restore our ability to focus because they capture our attention gently, in an effortless way. This really lays it out perfectly. The digital world and busy cities create hard fascination. They scream for our attention, forcing us to focus, and that just drains our mental battery. But nature, that offers soft fascination. It's gently interesting, like watching clouds drift by or leaves rustle in the wind. It doesn't demand anything from you, which allows your brain's focus centers to finally rest and recharge. And look how simple this is to actually do. You don't have to go hike a mountain. Just find a patch of green, a park, a backyard, even a single tree outside your window, and just look. Let your mind wander. The real key here is to not have a goal and to resist that powerful urge we all have to fill the silence with a podcast or by checking our phone. Just be. So let's just pull it all together. We've gone on a journey here, from that feeling of brain rot to understanding the deep forces that are causing it. And now we have a clear, science-backed path forward to get a restored, rested brain. So here it is, your action plan. It's this simple. Number 1, reduce the noise. Do that audit on your digital life. Number 2, calm your system. Use your breath as a tool to handle stress in the moment. And number 3, restore your focus. Go find moments of that soft fascination in nature. Reduce, calm, restore. That's the framework. I want to leave you with this final thought. There's so much pressure online to optimize everything, to become your best self. But what if the real goal isn't to be your best self, but just to get back to your real self, the one who isn't always frazzled and distracted? So, looking at this plan, what's the one small change you can actually commit to making today?
If this touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share it with your family. Save this for more meaningful content ahead.